Hey guys, it's Lee Godbold with Junk Removal Authority, where we help junk removal business owners make more money and live a better life. Happy New Year, everybody. 2023 is upon us. January is always a slower period in junk removal, but hopefully you're out there and extremely busy yourself being active and carrying out action in order to drum up as much business as you can and put you in an amazing position come springtime. If you guys are looking for digital marketing services, JRA is the premier company for digital marketing services in the junk removal space. If you're looking to build a great brand, we've got websites now rolling out that are custom branded sites. So make sure you ask about those. And on the Google Ads, PPC management, and SEO side of things, we've got sites that rank well and are very efficient throughout the country. What I want to talk to everybody address right now is a Google Ads kind of related question. And it comes from a client of ours that's been with us for quite some time now. And he asked a great question that I felt needed to be put out in the video. The question is around average job size and how it relates to the ROI for Google Ads management and pay-per-click advertising. So his question was, all right, this particular gentleman has been around $30, $40, low 40 cost per conversion historically throughout his time with Junk Removal Authority on pay-per-click advertising. And over the last month to maybe 2 months, he's seen some $60 and some $50 cost per conversions popping in there. November was 60, December had come down to $50. And what he was, we asked him about what his average job size was because we're trying to help compute his ROI. We need to know what our target cost per conversion or target customer acquisition cost, CPA, cost per action needs to be. So we asked him about his average job size, and he said, well, I'm happy to provide that, but why does it matter? Why can't we just get our cost per conversion back to the rate it was and has historically been? Which is an absolutely excellent question. So there's a few different ways, there's a few different factors on why his cost per conversion has gone up. As a Google, when you hire a PPC company or you're managing your own Google Ads campaign, your job is to create the parameters, the best possible parameters to make the most efficient and effective Google Ads campaign. And the way you do that is to make sure that you're showing for the proper search terms. So you've got a good, strong keyword and your keyword list, and you're adding keywords as you find keywords that are converting and leading to business. And perhaps one of the most important things is making sure that you're adding negative keywords so you're disallowing your ad from showing for bad search terms. So in junk removal, it's very common to see trash keywords, waste removal, refuse collection. You see that a lot. You actually see a lot of terms on starting a junk removal business. That tells you how popular this is right now on coming in and joining. You see a lot of keywords for Junk Removal Authority. You don't want to show that. You see a lot of keywords for your competition. Don't show for your competition, because a lot of times you'll get calls and you'll get conversions. Very seldom does it actually lead to a job. If somebody's searching for your competition, they're pretty certain that's who they want to go with. The other thing that happens is they'll search, they'll call, they'll already have an appointment scheduled with your competitor. They'll want to cancel it, reschedule it, have a question, whatever. And you're paying a premium for that. If you're targeting your competitors, you're paying a premium for that keyword because Google knows you're not that company. You have a low quality score for that keyword. So in order to show well, you might pay $25 per click, $15 per click, $40 per click sometimes in order to show for your competitor. And very seldom does it actually lead to a legitimate job, even if it converts. So don't show for your competition. So new competitors pop in. You got to be reviewing your search term reports and add that as a negative keyword. That is something that on a brand new account, you should be in there about probably at least 3 days a week, depending on what your ad spend is. If you have an ad spend of $1,500 a month, you should be in there 3 days a week. After the campaign becomes several months old and has a good history, you're going to notice your search terms, it's less important to be in there several times a week. You might be able to get away with once a week reviewing those search term reports. It's just a matter of what you're seeing. So that's one of the largest things you can do. Ad copy. So creating an ad copy where searchers are more likely to click on it and visit your page, so you get a higher click-through rate. That is another thing as a Google Ads Manager, PPC specialist of your own campaign or if you're hiring somebody, that's something they should be experimenting with all the time. And keep in mind, Google changes what they can, changes their algorithm on what they consider to be a great ad or not. So you have to constantly be in there. So that's another area that you need to always be managing. So you create great ads, you have great keywords, you disallow bad keywords. You look at the locations, what locations are working well, what have a really high conversion. Let's do a bid decrease on those. What have a really low conversion, cost per conversion. What has a very low cost per conversion? Hey, let's make sure we're focusing our budget on those areas because apparently that's a great area for junk removal. That's something else you'll do. You're going to review devices between mobile devices and desktop devices. Different areas converted to different amounts between desktop and mobile. So you want to do bid increases or decreases depending on your area and their prevalence of which device they might use. I mean, generally all areas it's better with mobile, but some areas have pretty good conversion rates with desktop, cost per conversions with desktop as well. So you want to adjust your bid adjustments there depending on the data you're seeing that comes in over a 30, 60, 90, 180 day time span. The longer you've been running the campaign, the better decisions you can make simply because you have better data that's coming in and you're more certain you're not dealing with a set that's just an anomaly. So those are all the things that when you hire a PPC management company like Junk Removal Authority, they should be in there tweaking on a regular basis. On a regular basis, they should be doing that. So that right there, just creating the best possible parameters, the highest quality score you can, the best ad copy to get the most click-through rate, that's part of it on ads. The next part is having a great landing page. So if you have the greatest ads in the world, if it lands on a bad landing page, a couple things happen. One, it's not giving the information to the searcher that they want, so they're not going to call and actually book a job with you. They're not going to convert. The second thing is the page has to be set up in such a way that Google believes it's got a great landing page experience. And if Google believes it's got a great landing page experience, it's going to give you a higher quality score. A higher quality score equates to lower cost per clicks, which equates to lower cost per conversions, which means more profit in your pocket, which is what, obviously what everybody wants out of this deal. So that is all of the conditions that you wanna set. I'm a race car driver, and I do some amateur racing. It's in smaller circuits. I've got aspirations to go to higher circuits over time as I get more experience and maybe free up a little bit more time to do it. And in the lower circuits, it's not uncommon to get a guy that gets out there and kind of dominates for a period of time. But especially as you work your way up, what happens, especially in like the Cup Series, is in the Cup Series, it's very hard to win a race. You can be the best driver out there and have the best car and something go wrong. You could blow an engine, you could have somebody in front of you that wrecks into you or whatever. So all that you can do in racing is prepare, get the best possible car out there. So you practice, you tweak on it, you get the best possible car out there. And as a driver, you make really, really smart decisions, but you understand that, hey, something could take you out and you might not win this race. But you're giving yourself the best possible chance to. You're not taking yourself out, and you're putting the time and effort and research into getting the best possible car. So you're giving yourself the opportunity to win. All that work we just did prior that I just mentioned on the Google Ads campaign, that's setting up the parameters and giving you the opportunity to win and be profitable. The next thing is the auction house. Google is very much a auction house. Now, it's not a straight up highest bidder wins because they do have an algorithm that factors in all those things that I just mentioned before. They want to make sure for their long-term success that they're showing ads to their searchers that are relevant. That way their searchers continue to come back to the search engine. If they do not search that, if it's a straight up highest bidder wins, what occurs is they would have very low quality and searchers would go try to find another search engine. So it is very important to Google that it's not just a highest bidder win. They want to make sure that you're giving them the content, you provide the service that searchers actually want. but it is very much an auction house, and Google is very profitable, and over 90% of all their income comes from Google Ads. So they're going to squeeze as much out of their advertisers as they possibly can. So what happens is in Google Ads, you are competing. You're competing to set up the best possible ads, so that's the parameters to win, and then you're competing in terms of bidding. So the second part as a PPC manager is we have to make sure that the bids stay high enough that you're competitive and your ad's actually showing. You're actually running the race. So you can't, show up to a NASCAR Cup Series race with a $25,000 Toyota Camry. You got to show up with a $300,000 or $400,000, whatever they are, NASCAR car. So you've got to have your bids high enough to even be running the race. You also, as a PPC manager, you've got to manage those bids in order to get a target CPA or a target cost per conversion where the owner can actually be profitable. So the lower the bid, the less likely you're going to show, the less likely you're going to, the smaller number of conversions that you're actually going to get. The higher the bid, generally the more conversions you can get, but you're going to spend more. That's where average job sale comes in. So average job sale is going to be the determining factor on if Google Ads can be profitable for you in your particular market. We have a lot of markets out there that get $30, $35, even some $20 cost per conversions. You might be able to have a $350, $320 average job sale and be pretty profitable. You generally want to shoot for 25 to 30% advertising expense as a percentage of revenue just for that particular job. Not overall, hopefully overall you get a lower advertising expense when you're taking your repeat clients and your accounts and other advertising methods. Hopefully it's lower. But on Google Ads, 25%, 30% is, that's acceptable. Even a little, in some markets, even a little over that is acceptable. If you can get it lower, that's gravy. We got a lot of accounts that are 15%, 20%, but in competitive markets, your San Francisco's, your New York Cities, your Boston, stuff like that, you're going to have a higher advertising expense percentage just because it's more expensive to operate there. But there's more customers to have too, so you can build a larger business long term. So back to it. You can get to a point where you say, hey, I want to squeeze as much profit as possible out, so we lower bids down. The problem is even though you're more profitable, your margins are higher, you could completely get to the point where you don't show it all. And nobody wants that. We have to show. On the other end of the spectrum, you could show almost all the time and get a ton of conversions, but you could have a really high cost per conversion, and you could be in a market where your average job sale doesn't support that. So in that case, every single Google job you're doing, you're losing money. That's unsustainable. So with Google Ads, you should shoot for, in some markets, you might only break even. You should shoot to try and get a little bit of profit, and then you should understand your impression share percentage, and then you should show as much as you possibly can, because at that point, once you're profitable, every Google job you get, that's additional profits. And if you keep up on trucks and you keep up with the team members that you have, you're going to be able to do a lot more jobs, and you're going to get a lot of repeat clients. You're going to get a lot of referral business, and you're going to get a lot of online reviews. We call those the 3 R's. So Google Ads, though, it can be instantaneous, almost instantaneous business. I'm not going to say completely instantaneous, although that can happen. What also you got to look for is Google Ads is very much a long-term play, because you're getting in front of people, you're doing an amazing job, and then they're going to reuse you, they're going to refer you to others, they're going to leave online reviews, which helps you convert at a higher rate online. So you're in this auction house, you're competing against your competitors. Junk removal, there's always people coming and going. So when there's more people entering the market and there's more people doing Google Ads, you're going to pay more. You're going to see a higher cost per click, which is going to translate into higher cost per conversion. During the winter months, what happens? People slow down. Initially, when people slow down, they're going to raise up their bids because they're trying to squeeze more jobs out. After a little bit of time, so this client's November was like $60-some. It's come down to $50-some in December. So what happens is people get scared in November, where they run out of money, they go out of business, whatever. And a lot of times, this December and January cost per conversion will come down. The only other issue is Google operates off of supply and demand. Now, they haven't flat out come out and said this, but it's pretty well known in the PPC management circuits, circles, that when demand is lower, Google's algorithm adjusts, and they're going to make you pay more to show. because they are going to get their nut. They're going to get their money out of it. So it's ever changing. You're going to have some months where you've got a low cost per conversion, some months where you've got a slightly elevated cost per conversion, some months you can have a really high cost per conversion. Your average job sale is the one thing that you can control, mostly control yourself, in order to make sure that you remain profitable. Now, there are very few select markets at times that you cannot get an average job sale high enough and that your cost per conversion is high enough that it's very difficult to be profitable. And I still encourage people to try and do ads in those markets. You're just going to have to get creative on your budgets and how much you spend and all like that. Because again, that helps you build up that snowball effect and build a really, really, really good business. So when you're managing your own PPC account, or if you've hired somebody like JRA to manage your junk removal PPC account, their job is to create the parameters that allows your ads to be competitive. It gives you a chance to win and a chance to be profitable. Then their job is to adjust bids to try and help you maintain profits, but also get enough jobs coming in that you keep your guys busy and you're going to grow your business long term. Your job is to make sure you know how to close, that you're answering the phone, you know how to book the job. Once you get on site, you know how to quote the job, and you quote the job at a high enough rate that it's profitable, that you're exceeding your expenses and your acquisition cost. One final tip I'll have, look at your cancellation rates. If you have an on-site cancellation rate of under 10%, you can probably raise rates. We got a lot of guys that are 5% or whatever. Raise those rates up until you see a 10, 12%, 15% on-site cancellation rate, maybe not 15, but until you get to a 10% cancellation rate or just over, you're not at your breaking point. Run those rates up. Last tip, your average job sale is going to be lower. So you got to take advantage of the spring, summer, and fall, build you up a nest egg, knowing that in January, February, especially once you guys have a lot of trucks and a lot of employees, you're probably going to lose money in January and February. So it's very important to get your stuff right. It's very important to watch that average job sale like a hawk. It's very important to get those prices up and work with your ads team. Let them tell you kind of what are some of the strategies that they're working on to give you a better shot at winning. It's just like in racing, you're always tweaking, trying to find that extra 100th of a second. You'll spend a lot of money, a lot of time trying to find 1/100th of a second. As your campaign has been around longer, and hopefully you're spending more and more money, the goal is long-term, you spend more money on ads because it's profitable and you have the capacity to take on more work. That means little tweaks here and there. You're going to work hard for those little tweaks and to get improvements, but it can make a big deal because you're spending a lot more money. So guys, I hope this was a very valuable video for you. I promise you, if you watch this, if you understand this, and if you follow the stuff within this video, your junk removal business will improve. And if we can help on our end, we've got a lot of great stuff going on at JRA. We've always provided amazing service to our clients and amazing results. We've brought on some really talented people, especially as of late. And we've created a single point of contact now where you've only got one person you're talking to. The internal communication with JRA is even better and is much better than it's been at times. Sometimes there's been a little disconnect from the SEO team to the web team, to the ads team. You're going to find a much more seamless experience over here now. And honestly, you're going to find better results. We've hit on a few things recently. We've always been great. We've hit on a few things recently on the ads campaigns where we're seeing even better results, even going through the winter. We're actually seeing people improve. So check us out. We've been doing this game a long time. We understand the business. We built up our own $3 million a year junk removal company, 17 trucks in North Carolina. So not only do you get the advertising expertise, but you also have the consulting side of things, the coaching side of things open to you as well. We're always trying to help our clients succeed. We want them to be in business long-term. That way they continue to do business with us long-term and everybody wins. We love our clients. We look at them as partners. We'd love to work with you. If you're somebody looking to build an amazing brand in your market and do a great job, we're not really searching for the guys that are just doing this part-time, that don't have big visions anymore. We got to work with the people that want to be market leaders. If you're a market leader, contact JRA today. I promise you, we're going to give you the parameters, and we're going to tell you what you need to do to be successful. And we're going to do everything we can to see you be successful as long as you have the right mindset and the right attitude, as long as you're controlling that average job sale. Check us out at junkrA.com. I'm Lee Godbold with Junk Removal Authority, where we help junk removal business owners make more money and live a better life. Hey, give us that thumbs up button if you like this video. Make sure you subscribe to our channel. Hit that alarm bell to get a notification every time we post. Again, guys, we'll catch you next time. It's been a pleasure. Use this video. Make money with it and prosper. Thanks, guys.